MySubstation.com, Substation Live. If you wasn't here, you weren't here. I don't even know if that's the right sentence. If you wasn't here, you weren't here. You hear that mess? Anywho, if you were tuned in, shout out to you. If you weren't, you get it all over again. We got Super Bowl real quick. It's all good. Got Rachel Palumbo live in the building with me.
What's up?
Rachel.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming.
I appreciate it.
It's been like 100 years. Right back into it. What do we have? What do you? The world wants to know.
Right now, as we speak, I'm releasing an EP called Armory.
Okay.
Armory is a play on words. It's Armory as in the place where you store massive amounts of weapons, and then also Armory as in Rachel Marie, my name. It's out today. You can get it at www.rachelpalumbo.com. It's a free download. You can download it all at once, or you can download it track by track if you prefer one track over another. Check it out. It's free. You have nothing to lose. Just, download it, check it out. Give me some feedback. Let me know what you think of it. Been working pretty hard on it, so I'm really anxious to see how you guys receive it.
Free download, people. Free download.
Free.
Is it anything going to be available physically, or it's just?
I have it right now. It's just online.
Okay.
I'm going to be setting up dates to start performing, so you'll be able to see it live.
Okay.
I'm hoping to have it with a full band. I just did a show on the 27th that was a full band. Shout out to Rashawn Odell Northington for setting that up. And Trinity, plus we had a whole string section and a horn section.
Mm-hmm.
Sold the show out. I was able to release some of the new tracks from this album that night, live. It was pretty dope. I was pretty pumped. Glad to hear that people really enjoyed it. So hopefully I'll be able to set up a couple more dates, and if you guys want to hear more, you can check it out live. Indeed.
Now, how'd that whole process come together? For the songs for the EP, the idea for the EP, knowing that it was going to be an EP, the time frame, did everything. How'd you put that together?
It started off just sort of writing. I found some instrumentals that I really liked. I have a couple different producers throughout the country that have sent me things that sort of spoke to my spirit at the time, and I was able to start writing to them and incorporate various artists and musicians as needed. It was supposed to be an EP at first, and then it was supposed to be a full-length album, and then I resorted back to the beginning. Then I went back to it being an EP because when I wrote the tracks, I sort of just knew when I was finished, and I just stopped. When I felt like I had completed what I was set out to do, I just stuck a fork in it and was like, okay, let's release it.
And it's complete. It's a full, this is me. This is how I was feeling in this capsule.
I think so.
Take it.
I think so. I mean, a lot of it was the whole idea of Armory is about learning to navigate through difficult situations and
Mm-hmm.
having the sort of figurative weapons to combat the difficulties that people endure in life, from relationship problems to struggling financially to seeking spiritual guidance, anything you could possibly imagine would happen, especially to somebody of my age demographic. I went through a lot of sort of soul searching when I was writing it. So
no doubt. How can they get in contact with you if they not so much for the music, but if they want to assist in any type of way? I know you said you were looking to put together a band, for projects that you have coming along. If they're looking to help you in any promotion, marketing, anything.
of course, go on the Facebook.com/Rachel Palumbo Music. You can also go to rachelpalumbomusic@gmail.com. Email is probably the quickest and most efficient way. With smartphones, it comes right to my phone. I always have it on me. You can hit me up whenever you feel necessary, whenever you feel like you have something important that you want to discuss. I'm pretty open to working with new people, from production to dancers, singers. Like you said, I'm looking to do some more live gigs, so a band, people that play instruments, guitar, especially guitar,
Yes.
piano. Anything that you could really bring to the table that you think would be a fun, sort of interesting endeavor. I'm down to check it out.
Got you. Who are you listening to right now?
Locally or
just musically at all?
That's a good question. I really like a lot of different artists. I've been listening to a lot of my own stuff lately, which sounds really narcissistic, but more because I'm trying to perfect the sound.
Mm-hmm.
I find that when I'm in a creative space, I tend to listen to my stuff a lot and critique it.
Gotcha.
But as far as local artists, I listen to a lot of Wednesday Addams. She's one of my good friends and
Shout
music
out to
partners.
Wednesday.
Check her out if you don't know who she is. I actually listen to a lot of older 90s R&B music, and I know I probably should be thinking more progressively, but that's what was majorly influential for me. So Alicia Keys is another top one that I
Mhm.
really, really like right now. I've always sort of liked her music. She's very creative, and I enjoy sort of watching her evolution as an artist too. I like Adele. I love
Mhm.
Amy Winehouse. I like
Certainly.
old school legends like Etta James. Um, I'm always listening to a lot of jazz music. I like Frank Sinatra.
Yes.
Hip hop, I like. I tend to gravitate towards more of the older artists myself
Right.
with that. But I do like Drake. I think Drake's pretty good.
Mhm.
I think some of his tracks are better than others.
Mhm.
You know, I like Iggy Azalea. I think
Definitely.
she's pretty cool. She's on the come up still.
Dope.
Yeah. Who else? Let me think. Singers. God. I don't know. I like a lot of older music, I
Who's
think.
singing? That's what that means.
Yeah.
I was just telling somebody the other day, like, there's really no more timeless music.
No, I
You
would
know?
agree with that. Well, I think that there's always new artists that are emerging, and I appreciate when I see an artist that not only can write and can perform, but can really sing.
Mhm.
Because with auto tune, it's so easy to just jump on a track and sound perfect.
Right.
But to actually have the talent to the vocal chops to just sing on the spur of the moment
Right.
live is a skill. I
Indeed.
think it's kind of a dying sort of skill. So
I all the way dig that. Now you say there was a lot of influence in the early and the late '90s R&B. Now with the R&B that you hear now, do you feel that it may be lacking that substance, or maybe that soul, that feeling, that subject matter? I know people talk about it all the time in the rap world and the hip hop world, but with the R&B, just the same. And I just know for me personally, um, I can't turn on the radio and hear a Keith Sweat, Bobby Brown, back to back to back to back to back like you could,
yeah.
and I don't know. Does that stem from maybe just the generation wanting everything so quickly, or is it really that the product is maybe lacking?
I think it's been sort of an evolving acceptance. Music, I believe, and this is arguable. A lot of people tend to beg to differ with me on this. I feel that music has really sort of dumbed itself down in the last
Certainly.
decade or so. I would agree that you don't hear a Keith Sweat,
Mhm.
you don't hear a Jodeci, you don't even hear a Boys to Men,
Man.
and those groups that really
Is there
had
even an R&B group out right now in the forefront, male?
male. There's a group called Legacy that I'm really into right
Okay.
now. I think it's like five Asian singers.
Mhm.
They're American, but they
I'm gonna
have
go
the
check
most
them out.
beautiful voices. Fifth Harmony is a female group that's out that I really dig right now.
No doubt.
Um, I mean, I think you're right. I think that lyrically we've really succumbed to this sort of notion that less is more lyrically, and I don't agree with that. I think that it's really hard to find lyrical artists, people that are writing from their soul, writing lyrics that take time to craft. Um, there's so much repetitive music out right now that it doesn't take much to be mainstream. I
Mhm.
don't feel, and when I see artists that are coming up and doing it, I have to think that eventually people are going to be tired of it and they're going to resort back.
Indeed.
There's only a couple, like an artist that I work with out of Seattle, MC Sav and Pacific Game. They're like one of the most. I was astonished at how lyrical they were,
Mhm.
and I love working with them because every time they present me with something, it's awesome. It's
Right.
just an excellent display of words and,
Right.
and having that sort of ability to use their skill to get across a good message and not just, you know,
Shoot 'em up, bang bang.
party and
Papa Molly, I'm
yeah,
sweating.
right.
I dig it.
Exactly.
I all the way
Exactly.
dig it. Now, do do you see yourself in that role model light? When you're making the songs, I would say not so much when you're out in public, because I mean I can't say obviously, but I would guess, just gauging from hearing you speak, that you do take pride in being an example to anyone, be it young or old. But even when you're just in the writing and the creation process, is that running across your mind still?
When I'm alone writing music by myself, I put everything that possibly comes into my head on paper and I try it out. I mean, it might be something Actually, a lot of my songs start off with me rapping. Like I'll hear a track and I'll rap to it because I'll tell you why. Because when you rap, you can incorporate a lot more material in a smaller amount of space. I could rap, you know, over 4 bars, what would take me a whole
A
song
song's worth of material,
to
right?
put in.
Right.
So I'll get
Right.
I'll sort of find a beat and I'll just start rapping all the things that come into my head and put it on paper,
Mhm.
and then I sort it out and I stretch out the notes and I write a song. That's often how I approach things.
I never heard of that. Like,
But as far as being I
uh,
do, and as far as being a role model, yes, I'm always thinking about, you know, that people are watching, and at the forefront, I have to be conscious of the attention that it brings. So, just because I say something in the privacy of my own home doesn't mean I'm going to release it, because I want to make sure that I'm representing what it is that I feel is important in this
hmm
society. I feel that we're lacking majorly, you know, role models, especially for young girls. That's a huge piece
certainly.
of what drives my writing.
Man,
And it's tough because there's a very delicate line. When you're a 26-year-old woman, you can write about things that 26-year-old women experience, but you have to be conscious that there are 14-year-olds that listen
right.
to it. So you have to be able to deliver it in a way that's not going to say the wrong thing, you
True.
know?
I just met a 28-year-old grandmother. I was just
Wow.
yeah, I was just
Shout
thinking
out to her.
that.
That's quite a task.
I was just thinking that
Wow.
as you were saying that.
Wow.
Little Secret wants to know, would you be releasing any videos, and what would be the first single?
There's a video out off of this EP, kind of something as a bonus track that I recorded. It doesn't follow suit with the rest of the EP, which is why it's a bonus. But I
Okay.
felt that because the EP was sort of heavy and it dealt with a lot of difficult content, I wanted something to sort of balance it out. It's a lighthearted love song, and there is a video out for that. I just shot that about a month ago. You can go to youtube.com/Rachel, or no, rpalumbo87,
Got
YouTube
you.
slash rpalumbo87, and check that out. And Little Secret, I have a video for Little Secret, my song.
Yes,
You could check that out too.
indeed.
Right now, I'm speaking with a really talented director in this area named Ken Constantino, and he's extremely, you know who he is? Yeah, he's an extremely talented director. I'm looking to work with him. I'd love to work with him in the very near future. It's just a matter of timing, trying to time things right with his schedule, my schedule, and coming up with a really good creative concept. Because I feel that though I really love my videos, my previous videos, I want something that's going to really pull at people's
Right.
heartstrings, because that's what this is about. That's
Mhm.
what this whole EP is about.
Right.
Just a real sort of gritty approach to navigating through struggle. So I want that to be exemplified through the video.
Do you think that without speaking to you, I would say, obviously, as many fans won't in a forum like this, but do you think without speaking to you, giving them this EP would have them be able to know who you are? You know?
I think so. I think the only thing to keep in mind, yes, for sure. I mean, I am definitely. I like to think that I'm as strong as I pretend to be on my CD.
No doubt. No
I'm
doubt.
definitely. I'm not really pretending.
I
I
got you.
really, that's what happens. Life, soldiers play it. Life strengthens you. You're either going to rise above the obstacles or you're going to succumb to it. And I've always taken the stand that you should try to rise above as much as you can. So yeah, she'll be able to get a sort of an inside perspective on what it's like for me to be able to strengthen myself
Gotcha.
in different capacities. But on the other side of that, just understand that I do have fun, and I
Yes.
do laugh a lot, and I do approach things with an open mind and sort of a positive
hmm
attitude, despite.
Shit, you're 26. You know?
Well, right, right, and I think I'm like I said, I'm kind of an old soul too, so
hmm
people might hear this and think, God, she's so serious all the time. I am a pretty serious person. I'm more of a serious artist, but I definitely like to have fun and enjoy myself. And actually, the next project that I want to put out, that I've been working on, that I haven't named it yet, it's very fresh, is going to be much more reflective of my more happy, sort of upbeat kind of side.
Got you. Got you. Now, outside of the music, what consumes most of your time? I know you said you just got finished with school. What do you enjoy doing?
I write a lot,
hmm
obviously. I spend a lot of time, honestly, like soul searching. I like to read about religion. I like to go to church every week. Shout out to the chapel at Cross Point. Music department is excellent. Alan Dussel had my show actually at his spot, the Studio Cafe on the 27th. So
Okay.
I've grown a new respect for them. I like to have interpersonal conversations with people, which is also is a dying thing. I mean, I feel
Oh
like with
man,
texting and the internet, you
the
can sort of
social
be whoever
media.
you want. I generally try to interface with people face to face when I can. I like to spend time with my daughter, Gianna. She's 3, so I spend a lot of time, having fun with her.
GG.
But yeah, I mean, when I can, I like to spend time with family and friends, and I like to pick the brains of other artists
hmm
and try to better myself musically and as a person. So that's generally what I'm doing all the time. Is I'm trying to find ways to challenge myself to be a better person.
Got you. Now,
You know.
do you see in your day to day that what you, let's say, plan to do when you wake up even doesn't match what you plan to do before you went to sleep? And then as the day's over, was it? Do you see that you have more productive days than unproductive days? And I mean the reason I ask that is because I see so many people who do make music and really want to pursue it, but when you ask them about what they do and when they do it, this is the smallest piece of the pie. I'm sure that's not the case for you, but how does that work out?
Actually, no. Generally, my day is structured, and I'm a little bit rigid, and my friends and people that are close to me will say it's to my own detriment sometimes because I'm so structured. I have a planner. I make to-do lists. I like the act of checking things off my list. So generally, when I wake up in the morning, I have a pretty good understanding of how my day is going to transpire. Every now and again, I get a curveball in there, or something comes up that shifts me in a different direction, but I try to stay on task. As far as musically, you have to have a plan, and I think that's the difference between me sitting here now and me sitting here 2 years ago when I was here. I was just doing it for fun. I mean, I always envisioned making it go further than that, but it requires strategic planning.
It does.
And it requires a team of people, because it's not just you, as much as artists want to say that they came up because it was all them.
You don't just end up at the top of the stairs.
Yeah, it's an extremely rigorous process that requires a lot of dedication and having to get back on the horse and try, it's a lot. So for me, I always sort of have a general idea of where I want to be and how I want to get there, and I like to make lists and try to strategically plan how to make those things happen. And frankly, the last couple months, things have really been taking off. So I'm really grateful to all my supporters. Thank you guys so much for being there and sort of watching everything go down.
Got you.
Supporting. I appreciate it.
Right now, what's on your mind?
Right now?
Rachel.
Right at this moment?
Yeah, right now.
Fettuccine Alfredo.
Yes. Crab meat?
Yeah, I could do that.
Crab meat.
I'm kind of hungry. I know I'm going to be shooting a big video in a couple months, and I plan to be doing a lot more live shows, so I'm trying to get in shape cardiovascularly. Not necessarily about the weight, just more about just eating the right things.
Getting yourself
taking
together.
care of myself so that I have the endurance to perform better. But I have to say, I'm Italian and I love eating and I love Italian food, and I'm trying so hard to not eat it. So I'm just thinking in my head that Alfredo sounds good.
Got you.
Yeah.
Got you. Now, do you cook? You cook Italian food?
I do.
All the time?
Often.
What's your favorite thing to cook?
My favorite. I like to make sauce. It takes 8 hours. Once I have the sauce made, I can pretty much make any Italian dish.
It takes about 8 hours. Did you hear that?
Sundays.
Oh.
For anybody that wants sauce, you just get at me and you can come over and have some. It takes a long time because you have to be at the stove all day stirring it, because if it sticks, it burns and it doesn't taste good.
And it's over.
Yep. So anyway, once I get the sauce made, I use the sauce for various recipes. So I think probably one of my best dishes is chicken parmesan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Who makes the best sauce?
Me? No, really, I'm kidding. My grandmother.
Such a straight face too.
No,
Me?
No, actually, if we had a competition, I don't know where I would rank in terms of my family, but my grandmother made the best. My grandma Palumbo. Yes, that was my real name at one point. I got her recipe though, so I think it's probably pretty similar.
They should have like a sauce contest at the Italian festival, for real.
That would be good. Yeah, live musicians and sauce.
Right.
If you're interested, email this guy.
We can put it together. A little secret also wants to know, what would be your perfect collaboration, dead or alive?
Oh man, I'm inspired and I love so many artists. From every genre. Like I said, I love Frank Sinatra. From hip hop, my favorite artist is definitely Biggie. I would love, if it were a different time and things worked out, I would love to collaborate with him. He's my favorite.
That would be crazy.
Yeah. Whatever he wanted to do too, I would jump on it. But love Alicia Keys. God, that's a tough question. At this point in my life, I would love to work with Nas. I love Nas. I like Nas's new approach. A lot of people beg to differ on that too, but I just like that he's doing something positive, and I respect that. Lupe Fiasco's another one doing something positive. I think that's pretty cool.
Loops.
I would love to work with my team of people that I'm working with now. Like I said, Wednesday Adams, definitely, and MC Sad from Pack Game. I'd love to work with you, actually.
Definitely.
Yeah.
No doubt.
But I would love to work on it in a grander scale.
Right.
Like, I'd love to have a huge production behind it. I'd love to be able to put the money and all the resources we need to really make it sound competitive. And I have to say, given limited resources in this geographical area,
Right.
I definitely rock it till the wheels fall off. I
No
try
doubt.
to utilize everything I have, but you could always make it better. You know, you could always
Hmm.
step it up. So it's
Who?
really more about working with people that I love now and just making it more official, I guess.
Indeed. Who do you hear now from your city or even anywhere around that inspires you? Maybe not so much inspires you, but definitely keeps you on your toes.
Hmm. Singers?
Singers, rappers,
You know who I
speakers,
really
business
love
owners.
vocally? I really love Gogev. I think
Yes.
she's super dope.
Shout out to Gev.
Shout out to her. I would love to work with her too. She's another one. You know, this man here, Che Hawk, he's doing his thing. He's got excellent videos. He's pretty dope in terms of
That's the homie.
being about his business.
That's the homie.
God, I'm trying to think. Who else besides Dina? What artist do I love right now? I love AK Reed too. I'd love to shoot with AK Reed.
Reed.
AK Reed needs to get at me.
Yeah.
No, he's really good. I love his directing too.
Make sure you check out that Bartenders if you haven't already. AK
Yeah.
Reed film.
I actually just worked with Jess Classic.
Okay, shout out to the homie Jess.
Jess Classic and I did a track. I'm supposed to be doing something else with him. He was an interesting one actually. He brought me on and I wasn't
pretty
sure.
dope.
Like I don't know about this project. And then I met with him a couple weeks ago and he handed me a physical copy of it and I think it's pretty good actually.
Yeah, he's pretty
good.
dope.
Coach Cheese was on that.
Cheese.
He's definitely dope. I'd love to work with him a little more.
Got you. Now overall, what's Rachel's Buffalo look like?
You know, I'm gonna say hopeful.
Okay.
I think Buffalo is I always say this, I feel like it's an untapped city.
It is.
I think that there's so much talent, there are so many creative, great minds, but everybody's in such strong competition with one another that it doesn't come to fruition the way it should. If people would start helping each other more and stop competing so much and be more consistent about what they're putting out, and myself included, I always have room for improvement. I think we'd be in a much better position.
Right.
You know, we could really elevate. And there is a project going on in Niagara Falls that's trying to renovate the arts out there that I was just asked to jump on. Ken actually sent me an email and said,
Shout out to the big homie Ken.
yeah, he said, you know, this is what's going on. We want you to come to the meeting. And I haven't been able to make it, so I guess I'm sort of a little bit of a hypocrite. But it really wasn't because I don't want to go. It's because I've been so busy.
No doubt.
My schedule just freed up, so you know, hopefully I can make that. But I would love to see this city just evolve more and really shine the way that it's intended to. I think we definitely have the talent. It's just a matter of working collectively to try to make things happen.
No doubt. And who are you listening to out here? Who you know, just from the first time you heard anybody say I'm from Buffalo and I make music till now.
You know what? There's a lot of people right now because I'm getting a lot more of a buzz than I was. You know, it always kind of goes. It's like a cyclical thing.
It does.
When you start putting stuff out, people jump on the bandwagon a little bit more. Off the top of my head, there's a couple different people. Like I said, Gogev is really good. Shay's pretty good. I'm trying to think. Product's good. I like Product. There's, you know, everybody from I love Conway. Conway's dope. Again, I love Thugsman. I think Thugsman is an excellent producer. I would love to work with him. Thugsman, for sure. Like, I definitely want to get on that. Obviously, Wednesday Addams is at the top of my list. Her group, Rain, is super dope. God, there's so many that I love. Trying to think off the top of my head. Jazz Classic is doing his thing. Cochise is doing his thing. You know what I'm really hard pressed to find is more female singers.
Right.
I would love
singers
to see
and
more.
rappers.
Rappers too. There's
producers,
not a lot of
DJs.
DJs. Yeah. Oh, DJ Bandana Black
know?
just met up with him recently at a show. That was pretty
Where all the
tight.
females at? Make sure y'all holla at CEO Ali too. We got that Queen Boss movement.
CEO Ali, yeah, in the house.
Yeah.
He's here too.
You know.
You can't see him. He's behind the scenes, guys.
Yeah. Doing
Yeah,
his
I would
thing.
love. I'm all about females doing it. So I would love nothing more than to have more female rappers, singers, dancers. If you're a female and you're talented, please message me.
Yes.
Please contact me because I would love to put together a project with all female.
You heard it here first.
Yeah, that's now my wheels are turning a little bit.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I mean, there's just not enough. There's not, there's Armani Caesar. She's pretty good too.
Jeez.
But I can't think of like a lot of. God, there's just not a lot of females doing it right now.
Ladies.
Ladies.
Okay.
Ladies.
Thank you.
That's it too, and that's the other thing. You can be an excellent singer or writer, but if you're not putting things out, how do
Right.
we know you exist? Like,
Right.
I wanna see somebody that's working hard
Right.
so I can collaborate with them
I dig
and
that.
put combine our powers together
Right.
and try to make something happen.
Supergirls.
That's right.
No, it's not. I mean, I know you personally, so it's probably a little bit different for me. But I know every time I see you, it's always good times, good energy, laughing, smiling. What puts the smile on Rachel's face? What makes Rachel happy?
I love helping others.
Okay.
I really enjoy having a conversation. People are feeling down. I love, it's kind of a double-edged sort of thing because, excuse me, I love to help people and have conversations when people are down, but at the same time, it's difficult when you love somebody and they're coming at you with a problem. You wanna help them. I wish I could help people more.
Right.
So having a social work background has really been influential in the way that I treat others, and I love to see acceptance when people accept others for who they are.
Right.
I think that's a really rewarding feeling, and being a part of that, writing songs about it, speaking about it, standing up for others when needed, advocating for others.
Man.
I really get fulfillment and enjoyment out of that a lot.
All that love you got. I see how you could make that. All that love you got in your heart. Listen, could you see yourself being a principal of a school, overseer of children on a grand scale?
Maybe.
Kids?
I mean, for a little while I was working for child protection
Mhm,
here in the
mhm.
county, and I've also taught. I taught at a behavioral school for kids in Colorado when I was living there for a short period of time. I could see myself doing it. I'm definitely I definitely have an administrative sort of mindset, but I also tend to see things for the multi-layered problems that they are.
Mhm,
I don't
mhm.
look at something and go, well, here, like if somebody's hungry, here, give them food. I would rather teach somebody how to generate their own sort of food. You know
Mhm,
what I'm saying?
mhm.
It's like that: give a man a fish,
I
teach a man
got
to
you.
fish.
I got you.
So I think I would spend a lot more time as a principal social working and trying to help people resolve problems than I would being a disciplinarian. Though I believe that's important too. I don't think that's the whole pie. I think there's many components to it.
Got that. Got that. Now on the artist side, um, do you is it you all day? I mean, I know we've already spoken a gazillion things going, not so much a gazillion things, but a gazillion things going on with you. But is it always music first? Is it always career first? At least from a mindset standpoint. And then of course, you're a mom, and you're a professional. You have another career. But is it always music first? Because I see a lot of people, like I was saying earlier, and they say music this, music that. I want to act. I want to sell whatever. I want to do this. But it only ends up being 3 hours out of the day, 3 hours out of the week. Or maybe you don't think about it until 8 p.m. Is it always Rachel Palumbo the singer, or is it always just Rachel Palumbo and I sing along with that, and I'm great at it?
I think that it's survival first.
Okay.
First and foremost, people should understand that if you can't survive, you can't thrive.
Mhm.
So if you're spending your resources, your time, your energy, your dedication on trying to appear that you have more than you do, you're wasting your time.
Right.
You need to meet your basic needs first and foremost. So for me, it's always about paying my bills, making sure that things are straight in that way, and then pursuing other things. And arguably there are many artists that say, I put all my eggs in one basket. This is
Right.
my life. I didn't go to school. I don't work a regular job. This is what I do.
Mhm.
And I, in many ways, I admire that because it shows that you're dedicated. But it's not a very rational sort of approach, in my opinion. It hasn't worked for me.
Mhm.
If I were to drop everything and just be a musician, I may just get by at this point in my career because it can be lucrative, but you have
Mhm.
to work really hard. And let's face it, being an artist, you're working at night, you're working on the weekends, you're packing clubs. When everybody else is off of work, that's when you're working.
Mhm.
So you're on a very different schedule, and that's not conducive to a healthy family life. So I've had to really navigate and balance and try to make it work. I've always had a plan B, but at this point in my life, I'm finally able to pursue music because I've successfully completed my plan.
Mhm.
So I have a background, I have a degree. If I ever have to fall back on it, I can. But there was no way that for me personally, I could have just jumped into music and had nothing to back it up, just
Yeah.
in case I don't have the means to support it, because it costs. People don't realize this about music. It's a very expensive,
Extremely.
extremely expensive thing to pursue, and had I not gone to school, I would have never been able to finance it, for one, and the things that I gained from my education have strengthened me as a musician. So it's been sort of a cohesive, when you put all the pieces together, it put me in a position to finally be able to pursue it with a sound mind, knowing that I always have a backup. But at this point in my career, I'm ready to pursue what I love, which is music. So
Indeed.
not I'm not always waking up going, let's make music, music, music. But throughout the day, it's on my mind. If something inspires me, if I meet somebody and they say something intriguing, I'll jot it down and I'll write about it later.
Right.
My mind never stops. You know what I mean? But I'm always thinking survival first, then music. And
Gotcha.
at this point, it's worked pretty well. So
Indeed.
stay in school, kids.
Man,
stay in
dogs
school.
fighting outside. You can't even see it. MySubstation.com. We're here with the beautiful Rachel Palumbo. Armory. 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 Armory.
That's right.
It's out today. Make sure you get it. RachelPalumbo.com.
RachelPalumbo.com.
Make sure you support. It's a free download. Little secret also wants you to let you know that you would make an excellent principal. A perfect principal.
Thank you, little secret. I appreciate that.
I could dig that. Got anything you want to give them before we get out of here? You know I'm going to ask you to sing, but just prior to that, anything else you just want to let them know?
Honestly, I can honestly say that just go for it. You know, if you have a goal, if you have a dream, whether that's being a bus driver or being the next Bill Gates, you miss every shot you don't take.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, like that's my objective.
Man.
I'm just going for it.
Right.
So I appreciate
Have to.
again, like so much. I appreciate so much the support that I'm getting from my friends and my family and my fans. That's the only reason why me and other artists are able to keep moving forward from the support. And I just love the interaction that I get from you guys. It means everything to me. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for still rocking with me and watching me grow as an artist. It really is amazing.
Dig that all the way. Now listen, people. Next month. Next month doesn't matter. We need to get Rachel to The Voice.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
The Voice, January.
Now, where are we going now?
Well, I was supposed to go to Chicago, but I'm thinking now I'm going to Philly.
Okay, so listen. She's going to Philly, and we need to get her to Chicago. You can hit her up on Facebook. What's your Twitter?
Rachel Palumbo.
Listen, at Rachel Palumbo. We need to get her to start using her Twitter a whole lot more.
Instagram, I know. Yes. Rachel Palumbo on Instagram, too.
Make sure you follow her. Do whatever you need to, okay? We need to get Rachel to Chicago. So make sure you hit her up on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, RachelPalumbo.com. Don't do it unless you've downloaded the EP.
For free.
For free.
Check it out.
And let's get her this ticket to Chicago so she can go to The Voice and make everybody happy. It's like $207. You know, let's go ahead and make that happen.
Thank you.
No doubt, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. That's my homie, so, you know. Anything you want to give him off the top of your head? I don't care what it is. It could be something from the EP, something you love to randomly sing.
Oh, you're going to...
You don't
Everyone
have to.
knows. I've been under the weather since the 25th, but I'll sing for you.
Here comes the disclaimer.
No, really. And I never do that, but truly, like, I've been so sick. What do you want to hear?
That's not fair. You know, I'm the wrong person. I'm the wrong person to ask. I don't know, Rachel. It's all my favorite.
How about, when you're held down, gotta rise above it. What goes around comes back around. Can't follow crowds if you wanna be the ringleader. Just listen to me and you'll believe in yourself now.
Come on.
That's Rise Above if you don't know. Check it out on the EP.
Did you have vocal training at all? Did you ever have a vocal coach?
I was in choir
Okay.
first or kindergarten through 12th grade, and then after I finished high school, I got with a music group called Bello Voice Studio. Shout out to Debbie Bello in Orchard Park.
Got you.
That's actually where I got my performance chops from. I started doing shows with her locally, charity type of things, and that's where I sort of honed my stage skills. So in a sense, I had some vocal training, but it wasn't, particularly extensive or anything. It's really just singing from the heart, I guess.
Got you.
Well,
that's what it is. That's my homie. I'm your homie. She's your homie. CEO Ali's your homie. T.I. guy, he's the homie. Before I get out of here, a little secret. Question for me was, how did I get involved in the interviewing? I don't know. I'm an artist first, and then just one thing led to another. I love people. I love I love I don't know, I love people, and I was offered the opportunity to afford people a platform that could also do the same for me, and I'm not selfish. I'm greedy. I'm certainly greedy. But I'm not selfish. And
But he is charismatic.
indeed, I guess,
That's how you do it. You're charismatic.
and that's
You have
what
a
that
charm.
allows
You have
me.
a charm.
That's that. That's that. So yeah, mysubstation.com. Shout out to Little Secret. Shout out to everybody that tuned in.
If you like the EP, tell a friend.
Yes.
Share it.
Yes.
Post it on your wall. Post it on your
Yes.
page. That's how we get the
Download
buzz
it.
started. Download it.
Yes.
Definitely
Make
download
sure
it.
you download it. It's not enough just to say I listened to it, I checked it out. Download it. Okay. We need that love. We need that support. We'll bring Rachel
Stuff
back.
a stocking with it.
Okay.
Stuff a stocking.
And say hi when you see her. Good peoples. Last thing, I just want to let you guys know. It's mysubstation.com. Relentless Radio every Friday, 6 to 10 p.m. Substation Live, interviews. Hit us up. T.I. Guy, Chad Money. It's mysubstation.com. Rachel Palumbo. Armory, rachelpalumbo.com. Make sure you go check it out.
Check it out.